project.org. Okay. The next is something that I've really been getting into, these virtual tours. You can go to these amazing places and see these really interesting things without even leaving, you know, your house, your couch. You can just kind of set it up on your computer and you and your person with dementia can sit, kind of go on these really interesting tours and see these really neat things. So the first one is the 20 amazing places you can visit without leaving your home. You can tour places like the Louvre, the Monterey Bay Aquarium, the San Diego Zoo. You can even go on a safari. You can see the Sistine Chapel. You can see the Taj Mahal. You can even go on like a scuba dive, and you can even watch the Northern Lights. The next one is the 5 national parks tours, and some of those are like the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, Caverns National Park in New Mexico, and Bryce Canyon in Utah. The next one I probably watched, honestly, like 5 times. I love looking at gardens and seeing other people's gardens. So the famous garden tours is something I've really gotten into. And you can actually tour gardens in the springtime in like France and England, Hawaii. They even have the Chicago Botanic Gardens in there as well. The next one is the virtual concerts, museum tours, and plays. So CNN, so that link right there, their website has full-length plays available like Alvin Ailey's Revelations, as well as art museum tours, history museum tours, classical concerts like the Vancouver Symphony, Berlin Philharmonic, as well as operas, plays, and ballets. And then the next one is the 12 famous museum tours. So it takes you on these really famous museums throughout the whole world. So you have the British Museum in London, the National Museum of Anthropology in Mexico City, as well as many more. And the last one is actually really neat for those of you who really enjoy listening to opera, is the Metropolitan Opera is offering free virtual tours. So it's something you don't have to pay for right now, which is really neat. The next thing I'm going to talk about is online caregiver education. So for those of you who, you know, might have some extra time, maybe just wanting to learn a little bit more about the, you know, dementia, about like communication, anything at all, there's lots of education available right at your fingertips. So the first one is the Alzheimer's Association. They have lots of different videos ranging in topics from, you know, understanding Alzheimer's disease and dementia, effective communication strategies, healthy living, financial and legal planning videos, and also videos that go through the different stages of Alzheimer's, and they have lots and lots to choose from. The next one is the Wisconsin Department of Health Services, a guide for family caregivers. So this one actually covers an overview of what dementia is, care for the caregiver, communication, responding to symptoms like agitation and aggression, as well as helpful resources. The next one is Through the Eyes of a Person with Dementia. This was actually created by the Milwaukee County Department on Aging and the Alzheimer's Association, the Southeastern Wisconsin chapter. They partnered together to create a 6-series videos that portray different challenging scenarios from the point of view of the person with dementia. So these videos cover like a trip to the doctor, caregiving at home, first responders, residential care, emergency department visit, and mobile crisis response. These videos really give you an idea of, you know, how someone with dementia kind of views these situations. So you can kind of approach it maybe a little bit differently. The next one is created by UW Oshkosh. It's their free community members video, and it's just a short 20-minute video created for community members to learn more about how to create a dementia-friendly community. Viewers will learn some common behaviors associated with dementia and also learn some helpful responses when communicating with someone who has dementia. The next one is some education offered by the Wisconsin Alzheimer's Institute. They have an education site that they also have really helpful website resources, also community resources, as well as other online links. And then the next one, it's kind of a long one, so it's the National Institute on Aging, Alzheimer's Disease Education and Referral Center. Ooh, that's a long one. They compile, archive, and disseminate information concerning, you know, Alzheimer's disease for healthcare professionals, people with the disease, their families, and the public. Their services include access to information specialists, free publication, referrals to local services and research centers, clinical trial information, as well as training materials and guides. Okay, and now I just want to go over some community resources. I probably could have had an hour-long presentation on just resources alone, but I got one slide, so I kind of picked and chose what I wanted to put on here. So first and foremost, I wanted to put, the Milwaukee County Department on Aging. So what we do is we kind of assist local seniors in learning more about and getting connected to resources in their community. Even with COVID-19 and the safer at home restrictions, MCDA is still working hard to provide their services to seniors with some modifications. For example, the senior dining sites are offering curbside pickup. We're still offering Meals on Wheels, a grocery delivery, rides to medical appointments, wellness calls. Also, all the resource center staff have modified their work procedures to provide assistance over the phone, and that includes conducting long-term care functional screens remotely as well. The next interesting resource is offered by AARP. It's their Friendly Voice program. And it's to help, seniors feel less isolated during this time. So, just hearing a friendly voice on the other end of the line in challenging times can be really helpful. So AARP has trained volunteers, that will provide a call just to say hi. Also, if you haven't visited their website yet, they have lots and lots of helpful articles and videos on dementia and COVID-19 on their website. The next one is the Elder Care Locator, and this is a public service of the U.S. Administration on Aging to connect older adults and their families to services in their area. So you can either go to their website or you can make a call to one of their information specialists, and they will connect you to local resources in your area. And you can, of course, get that information from clicking this link right here. The next one is the Alzheimer's Association 24/7 helpline, and I always like to let people know that this exists, because if you have caring for someone with dementia in the middle of the night, if they're having a really odd behavior, you've kind of tried everything you thought of, you can't think of what to do to help, you're not sure what to do, you can actually call this helpline and you'll talk to a real life person to kind of help you through that difficult time. The next one is the National Alzheimer's and Disease Resource Center Disaster Plan Toolkit. So a lot of caregivers have actually told me that, they haven't really made a backup plan. Like if something bad happens, like a disaster hits, they don't really have a plan B. So this toolkit kind of, helps compile and helps you think through that plan B. So what this toolkit does, it's meant for people who are living with dementia and their families to kind of write down and plan out what to expect in the event of a disaster and how to prepare for it. So the toolkit is made up of 7 different tip sheets and checklists. The toolkit covers important contacts, emergency supply checklists, medical conditions, care needs, and you can also fill it out right online. You can print it off and fill it in as well. The next one is the Wisconsin Alzheimer's Institute. They have lots of really helpful resources and education and links for COVID-19 and dementia on their website. And the next one, the last one, is the COVID-19 crisis text line. Again, these are some very stressful times, and the COVID-19 crisis text line, they'll connect people to a crisis counselor to kind of help, work through any crisis moment. Anytime a person, is in need of support and they need help working through a painful emotion, they can just text the crisis text line. And also just a note, the crisis counselors are trained volunteers. They are not medical professionals. Okay. And then now I'm just going to go over some caregiver self-care resources. So iCare, they have very helpful videos for caregivers on dealing with stress, how to focus on relaxation, pleasant activities, and healthy habits. Also, the Family Caregiver Alliance, they are offering a kind of a series of relaxation videos for caregivers, and theirs kind of really focus on different techniques for like deep breathing, triangle breathing, muscle relaxation, imagery meditation, and lots more. The next thing is if you might have been attending a support group before this happened, like an in-person support group, you can actually pick up going to support group because a lot of them are being offered virtually or over the phone. So the Alzheimer's Association, their ALS Connect, is kind of like an online community forum for everyone who's affected by Alzheimer's. So the person with, their family members, caregivers, friends, and even people who have lost someone with disease. So you can kind of chat back and forth with other caregivers. And they also have their community resource finder, will help able to help people connect to phone and online support groups, as well as other things like programs, events that they're doing, community services, etc. The next one is the WellMed Charitable Foundation, their Caregiver Teleconnection, and that is a 1-hour conference call. Again, it's free at no cost. These sessions cover a wide range of interesting topics related to the care you provide to your loved one, and you can get expert advice and ask questions and talk to other people who are providing care. The next one is the Alzheimer's Foundation of America. They are currently offering 2 phone caregiver support groups Mondays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. To register, you just call their national toll-free hotline, which you can get to by clicking on that link, or just go to their website for more information. The next one is one that I am actually a part of. It's a virtual dementia caregiver support group. This support group is facilitated by the DCSs of Milwaukee County, Ozaukee County, and Waukesha County. And those are occurring the first Wednesday of every month from 1 to 2, starting on June 3rd, so starting next month. Okay, and just remember, taking time for yourself is time well spent. You can't care for someone else if you don't take care of yourself first. There are also lots and lots of apps right now to help with mental and emotional health. So check those out as well. And now lastly, if you would like a copy of today's presentation, please send an email to me. You can send that email to dcs@milwaukeecountywi.gov, and I'd be happy to send you a copy of the presentation so you can have access to all those helpful links.